The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-necked geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
They fool me, we can't get fooled again. So I hear the voices, and I read the front page, and I know the speculation, but I'm the decider, and I decide what is best.
I do think at a certain point you've made enough money. We can't drive our SUVs and, eat as much as we want and keep our homes on, 72 degrees at all times, whether we're living in the desert or we're living in the tundra.
I wish you could just shut your big yapper!
You're listening to Rant Radio.
I'm a human being! God damn it! My life has value!
Rant Radio.
We don't need your education. We don't need your thought control. You can't handle the truth!
Rant Radio.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Chaz. Welcome to Rant Radio. Thanks for tuning in. We got a jam-packed session tonight. We're going to be talking about the fallacies of the government, obviously. I mean, what else is there to talk about in this world? First off, I want to thank all of the Ron Paul supporters, libertarians, constitutionalists, conservatives, for listening to the show. You're most likely labeled a terrorist by your own government, and that's fun. That's always fun. If you have more than 7 days worth of food in your house, if you buy things with cash a lot, if you have firearms, registered or unregistered, you are considered a potential terrorist by the laws in the books. So welcome to the club. It's a fun life. I'm joined with my buddy Green Reaper, and he's going to be helping me out today, but he's also going to be throwing in some wild card perspectives in here.
That's what I am.
Yeah.
I'm a wild card.
So sometimes you might disagree with us or whatever, but you never know. Maybe we're just trying to look at it from a different perspective. Who knows what we believe?
I am an actor, and there's a lot of things that you do when you're acting to get a role, Right. Sometimes you got to play a good guy, sometimes you got to play a bad guy. But all that matters is being a star.
Yeah. All right. Let me go ahead and interrupt you there. Our goal, actually, we are not owned by anyone. We own the rights to this show. We own everything. Every penny that is dropped into this show is from our pocket. So we don't have an agenda or anything like that. The only agenda we have is
Spreading the truth.
Spread the truth and ranting about the government corruptions of our day. This is shit you're not going to hear on Fox Radio.
First of all, Chaz, I'd like to say thanks to the federal government. Big up to the federal government for just giving us something to talk about.
Right.
I want to just say, Paul Krugman said it. He's a good guy, good upstanding guy. Barack, all the guys in with the Fed, Ben,
yeah.
Gotta thank Ben.
Pat him on the back.
He deserves, I should give that guy a Christmas gift. I need to put him on my list, send him a card or something.
Send him a box of shit.
He needs to get a sense of how I like what he's doing.
We're very appreciative.
You know?
Because if it wasn't for you, I would most likely be doing something worthless with my life.
Making clay animatronics.
So, yeah, I don't even know where to begin. Because, to be honest, this show doesn't have a structure or...
It's kind of like my life.
It really is, because we just sit around and talk about stuff. This is what we do when the microphone's not running, too. So.
It might as well just be here all the time.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. 24-hour Rant Radio.
All right, so I think the first thing we're going to talk about is at the debate, I saw this scene that unfolded between Barack Obama and Mitt Romney.
It was a pretty eventful scene, I guess.
It's funny, man. It was funny because...
Did anybody throw a shoe?
He was close. I saw someone unlace their shoe.
Well, all right, that's enough. That's tension.
Yeah. So it begins with Barack Obama contesting Mitt Romney over his pension because he has some Chinese assets, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Some hookers?
Some bank accounts that could also be linked, to hookers.
Okay.
Hooker activity.
Most likely.
He's an economic hooker.
He basically is that. That's him.
That's Mitt Romney for you, and Barack here is calling him out. Let's check it out.
Say,
Mr. President, have you looked at your pension?
You know, I don't look at my pension. It's not as big as yours, so it doesn't
Well,
take as
let me give you some. Let me give you some
I don't
advice.
check it that often.
Let me give you some advice. Look at your pension. You also have investments in Chinese companies. You also have investments outside the United States. You also have investments through a Cayman's trust.
We're way
So,
off topic
Mr.
here,
President,
Governor Romney.
We're a little off
We're
topic here.
completely
Come on.
off the
I know we're talking
Oh,
about
digging
immigration.
the dirt.
I came back to what you spoke about.
I do want to make sure
If I could
that
have you sit down, Governor Romney, thank you.
Okay, when I look at this, you know what I see? McDonald's debating Burger King on whose fries are healthier. But see, that's the thing. Both are gonna fucking kill you. Both are horrible for you.
It's true.
It's just, do you want to die from a clogged right artery?
Right.
Or do you want to die from a clogged left artery?
More salt, please.
Yeah.
That's
And it's
what we
funny.
need.
That's what in these shows, it's always a debate of degree. Okay, well, we agree on war. So just what kind of war? I agree on drone attacks, and Mitt Romney agrees on boots on the ground. So which one do you like?
It reminds me of Jersey Shore a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they're all doing the same thing, but one person will just be like, oh, well, you got more drunk. You know, oh, you took more money from the taxpayers.
Yeah.
You know, like, you took their jobs, well, you took their, tax cuts. It's just back and forth. It's
true.
like...
You know, I saw a study in Pakistan. I quoted this in the intro of Rant Radio. It was a study in Pakistan that quoted, for every terrorist that we bomb, we actually kill 49 innocent civilians per drone strike. So, is it worth it, America? You having fun?
You gotta read the news, people.
Yeah, but it's not even about that because they don't post it on the news.
It's not even in the news.
No, it's not in the news. So I've seen pictures of 3-year-old children with their legs blown off. All right? And I guarantee you some military generals haven't even seen those pictures.
Yeah.
That's how secluded this has become.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people, we live in this part of the world, and, unless you got relatives in Ghana, or in a diamond mine in Botswana, you're not going to know what's really going on there.
No. You got to turn on your TV, and you got to trust the 3 big corporate voices that are pretty much propaganda arms to the government.
I mean, unless you're reading people's blogs and you can read Mandarin, it's pretty hard to get reliable info.
Right, and that's in the media. You can also take that, and they've silenced almost everything else out. You can't get food from a non-affiliated.
Right, I can't get raw milk. It's illegal in Florida to buy raw milk.
Wow.
You can't drink milk that hasn't been heated to 160 degrees.
And they've actually proven, a lot of doctors and scientists have proven that actually it loses a lot of nutrients when you heat it up to that amount.
The FDA won't let you get a gallon of milk that hasn't been heated to 160 degrees.
Yeah.
It's
okay, and then a lot of people argue, oh, well, that's for your health. They're concerned about you. But I didn't ask them to take my money to look after me. I feel I can look after myself, and if I drink raw milk and it makes me sick, I look to no one but myself to blame.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like you
I'm not
take
gonna be
too many
blaming the
Vicodin.
government because they didn't stop me.
Right.
I'm not that crazy.
Yeah. I mean, this is all about liberty. At the end of the day, that's what they're after. That's the resource.
Because it's the threat to them. It's the threat to their tyranny. And that's why I say if you have more than 7 days worth of food and you can sustain 7 days without the government, if you own gold, if you buy things with the cash that's untraceable, if you talk about Ron Paul and you have Ron Paul bumper stickers, you're in the system. You're logged. You are a potential threat to their tyranny. They say you're a potential terrorist. But come on, we know that none of us are going to strap up bombs and bomb up the White House, okay? What they really mean by potential terrorists is you are about individual freedom, and that is a potential threat to their system of tyranny. That's what you're really the terrorist for, is their system of tyranny.
That's what it's all about. They're trying to take our freedoms, trying to take them up and put them in a can and stack them on the shelf. Just canning them up and shipping them out.
They've become privileges. Oh,
Oh,
you want to vote? That's a privilege. That's not a right. You're lucky if we let you vote.
Who was it that shot the other dude in the face?
There's a lot of people who
Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney shot a guy in the face with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Almost killed a man.
Oh, it was an accident, right?
Right, they were quail hunting. Quail hunting.
Oh, okay. You know, I've mistaken a lot of faces for birds.
It's true. When a bird is flying, it might as well be a face.
Shit's crazy, man.
But he turned around, and supposedly the guy was just in his way. But anyways, he shot the guy in the face, and not only did the guy apologize, the guy apologized to Dick Cheney. He said, "I'm sorry."
The guy who got shot in the face.
Guy got shot in the face after being released from the hospital, came out and made a public apology. A public apology to Dick Cheney for being in his way while quail hunting and getting shot in the face. Dick Cheney is not a man to go quail hunting with.
It's ironic because I was more afraid of Dick Cheney than I was of George W. Bush. I think Dick Cheney was the one behind it all.
It's the shadow that you don't know what it's doing, you know?
Yeah.
It's always there. They're always there. Dick Cheney, the Fed.
Oh, but it's all Bush's fault, right?
It's Bush's fault.
Everything that has ever happened in my goddamn life is George W. Bush's fault.
I was constipated because of George Bush. Thinking about George Bush made me constipated, and I want to blame him for that now.
Makes sense. I mean, look, I'm not a fan of George W. Bush.
No, you know, I'm not either. I would say I'm on the fence about the guy. You know,
I'm not even there. I hate the guy.
You hate him. All right. Well, you know, I say until you have dinner with somebody, you sit down and you talk.
I don't know, man. I can see what he signed off on. I know what kind of person he is. I know that everyone who I think is a good person would never authorize the killing of innocent people for the sake of special interest advancements.
What if all those people living in huts in Afghanistan actually did send a letter to George Bush and were like, we're gonna fucking kill you? And that's a national security issue.
Yeah, but is it? Because we've actually invaded them and we're killing them. So if anything, they're just defending their own country. I'm not defending the quote-unquote terrorists.
Right.
But I'm saying that for every person you bomb that's not a terrorist, for instance, the Pakistan study I quoted, every one of those 49 people, you've pissed off their family members.
Let me tell you something. I have to say something right now. There's so much documentation about accidental termination of life or something similar to that. Anyways, they've got documentation out the ass, and this is in the WikiLeaks.
Julian Assange.
And he was releasing documents out of these countries that we're at war at. Illegal wars, not passed by Congress.
Undeclared.
You know, nobody voted. I didn't go vote and say, send 18-year-olds out. You know, 6 weeks, they can go and handle, you know, shooting guns all the time, getting bombs dropped all around them.
Even though there's no declared enemy, 18-year-old kids can define the enemy, right? Because whoever is shooting at them, right?
But I can't buy raw milk.
No.
I can go and die for my country, but I can't drink a glass of unpasteurized milk.
Right. And if China were to come over here and do this to us, if they were to start setting up bases and bombing us,
right?
And
making checkpoints everywhere,
completely, slaughtering cities,
right?
Hospitals, schools, ignoring our constitution. If they were to do that, then they would be the terrorists, right? We would be full-on war. But
right.
No, we expect other countries to just tolerate as we do that to them.
We're just being friendly and, taking a little bit for us just because we like to have visitors. We like to send emissaries, if you will, of the American people to these countries because I think eventually everyone's going to speak English, And how awesome will that be?
We know the best for the world. I mean, let's face it.
English is obviously the best language by far of all other languages.
Right, and it sounds the best. And we look the best. We know the best. We have the best sports. I mean, come on. We know how to run the world.
We obviously have a better way of life. And I think that's what we're trying to show people.
Right, we're just trying to bless them with our way of life via bombs. We just kind of want to...
That's because you got to rock people's world. You got to rock their world to get them to understand how we live. Because we live a very explosive lifestyle.
Yeah.
Football. And shotgunning beers.
And sadly, 99% of the public, if they didn't know we were being sarcastic, would be like, hell yeah, I'm down.
Hell yeah.
I'm down. Is this going to be aired on CBS, son?
Oh, man. But like I was saying, this website... one of them. There's a lot of them, but they show the WikiLeaks documents, and there's actually a law, our war compensation law. These people in these countries that are illegally invaded, there's a maximum of $2,500 deceased relative pay.
Oh, okay.
Is what it's called, deceased relative pay.
So not only do we...
Right. Oh, we killed your dad because we thought he was coming at us with an AK and it was
a broom.
A broom, you know, sorry.
Hey.
Here's $1,000.
We had the wrong house and we nuked your whole family. Shit happens. You're
6. All right. Here's $500.
Yeah.
You're good.
Okay.
You know, get away. Go away, kid.
Yeah.
Oh, your mom and your dad and your grandma, they're all dead. And nothing to your name. Oh, here's $1,000.
Oh, and then
you can make it somehow.
Yeah, and then we wonder why we have terrorists just increasing.
Right.
We have people hating us even more.
Yeah.
You know? But the answer is to just keep on bombing them, because if we just bomb them enough,
exactly,
they'll love us.
They'll get it. They'll get it.
They'll be like, yo, that's what freedom is
It's
about.
like a pimp when he smacks a hoe.
Right.
That's not aggression. That's love.
He loves her, and he's just trying.
He's trying to show her. Just
snap in line.
Do it. You know. Just do it a little better next time. Just everyone get into a group, so we don't have to go all over the country. We just bomb one spot, and your country will still be awesome, and we can go and
they were trying
use it in your memory.
You know, speaking of collectivism like that, a lot of people were trying to push for this Ron Paul cruise.
Okay.
Rent out the whole boat and just get all Ron Paul supporters in one place.
I don't agree with all of these people assembling in one location.
Yeah, that's just recipe for disaster.
I
man.
think so.
That's 9/11 on repeat right there, dude.
I think so. Not only that, who's to say, that they won't send some infiltrators,
make it look bad,
people starting trouble. There was people in the Occupy movement, and they came out later on their web show or radio show. They're conservative guys, and they went into the Occupy, and they incited riots. They got everybody riled up, and they were like, "Oh yeah, go!" And and then they say, "Oh, look at them! They're smashing windows, and they're getting tear gassed by the cops." Whatever.
That's what's dangerous about looking at society in such a collectivist mentality.
Yeah.
You got to understand. People are individuals, and some people may support the same cause, but go about it differently. Some person might go have a violent approach, where the most people have a level-minded, logical approach to it.
Some people just want things to go wrong for no reason.
It's sad, but some people are like that. That's why you can't label a movement based on the actions of a few.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this election?
The election, I am not registered to vote.
Is that purposeful, or you just forgot?
Well, it's more of an inconvenience. I voted when I was 18. I'm 22 now.
Well, you got to pick your slave master, man. You got to figure out which slave master.
It's true. Do I want the guy that bombed 5 times the amount of people than George Bush with drones, or do I want the guy that took 5 times as many jobs as George Bush?
Huh. That's a tough one.
But
see, voting for the lesser two evils makes sense. I mean, eventually you're going to get good if you just vote evil enough.
Well, I think the point that we need to learn is if we filter out all the bad ones, if we just make them all present, get them out of the way, eventually there will be, we'll get to the good crop. You know what I'm saying?
Diamond in the rough.
Get to the good crop, and then, because, it's a big field of presidents, so, every once in a while you're going to pick a bad bunch. So.
I mean, we picked one for the past 100 years.
We've had a short history, 400 years. The Chinese, they've got a couple thousand years behind them. We can look at them and say, oh, you did your thing. They're still going.
Yeah.
They're still there.
And look at us, we're a couple 100 years, we're already breaking apart.
The way things are going isn't working for anybody. The euro's messing up. We're messing up.
And look what they blame. They blame capitalism. They blame freedom. But we haven't even had that.
Yeah.
This is corporatism. This is favoring certain corporations and mandating a monopoly in certain aspects of the market. So we haven't even had capitalism, but that's being blamed. You know why? Because they're so afraid that we will resort to that. We'll get back to freedom and free markets. Man. That they got to blame it, otherwise their agenda's screwed. Because everyone's seeking truth, everyone's seeking transparency right now, but they know they have to spin it in order to keep tyranny alive.
That's really the issue here.
So, what do you think? Do you think that we need some type of government regulation in certain aspects, in certain ways of life?
It's hard to say. There's definitely got to be some rules. I don't know. It gets into a lot of different shit because there's like ethics, you know.
Well, here's my thing. I think that society, contrary to modern perception, society would function better without government regulation in anything. I think private law would be formed.
Right.
I think private justice system, private policing system, and that way, say if you're at Occupy Wall Street and you're holding a sign and a policeman walks up with a club and starts beating the shit out of you, you can say, hey man, fuck you. I'm not going to use your services anymore. I'm going to go to this other private industry that promises not to beat the shit out of me if I hold a sign.
Yeah.
That's why I consider myself a potential anarchist, because I think that society,
that's
that government,
true capitalism.
Yeah, it just government gets in the way.
Whoever does the best job.
Right. The reason why a lot of people say, "Oh, well, we need government regulation," is because they want clean water. They have good intention.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you'll have companies buy out the representatives of your so-called regulatory government, and then they set the regulatory setting for their own self. They get to regulate themselves through representatives. So it's even more dangerous, because then you literally give them gangs with badges and say, hey, you can police this. Where at the same time, I understand the concern that you need clean water, you need clean air. But the people would have to start regulating themselves and start paying attention to what's happening around them. If a corporation started dumping in their water, they would have to stop buying their services and instead go with a company who promises a environment style management. So it could work, but right now people's mentality is just not correct. It wouldn't be able to work right now. You'd have to warm them up to self-management. We haven't self-managed ourselves in a goddamn century.
It's true. I wouldn't be used to it. You know, who would know what to do ever?
Dude, it's true.
Who would know what to do? Why would you go do anything if
freedom's tough, man.
It is.
True freedom's tough. You gotta talk to your neighbors. You gotta make sure you set up a nice little policing environment for each other.
A little bit more care.
Yeah, and time. But you know what? You get a little bit more freedom out of it.
Right.
You get treated a little bit better. Your life quality increases because things happen at a faster, more competitive rate than a monopoly, one-size-fit-all, government-mandated program.
That's true. Or you could just try and see whether things get better. Just wait.
Right. I mean, you would always have to have an open mind. But I'm saying, according to history, man.
Oh, yeah. No.
Freedom succeeded. But it's also been misrepresented in certain aspects. Right now, we're told that we're free and that we're prosperous, that everything's fine, just keep on shopping, that we're the best country in the world. So people already perceive themselves as free when they're really not.
That's true.
We have to fix perception first.
I wasn't taught that in school. I don't know how to.
You know what, man?
Think critically.
You're doing it now. You're talking to people. You're spreading the word. You're talking about freedom. You have more courage than the average human being who locks himself in his room all day and sucks on his fucking thumb and plays Xbox all day. We're actually looking around and seeing the problems. And I'm not cocky. I'm not trying to brag on us, but I'm just saying that's the solution. We have to get out. And you have to make your own radio show. You have to get out and talk to your friends and network and change people's minds, because people are distracted. People are watching mainstream news and reading mainstream articles and trusting the big guy to tell them what's up. And most of them have no clue.
But how am I going to know to do my laundry and go to the gym and tan if I wasn't watching Jersey Shore?
I can't answer that for you, man.
Now I know to do that.
Jersey Shore would probably still exist even without the government.
Would they really?
I think so. Probably not. They probably got some type of government benefits.
I think the laundry guys and the gym guys and the tanning guys all got together. There's something in the tanning oil
that
they're spraying you down, and that's straight mercury. Straight mercury. With sulfur.
Just like flu shots. Oh, get your flu shot, man. You gotta inject yourself. You know, mercury never leaves the body. It doesn't leave. So yeah, keep injecting yourself with your little vaccines. That's gonna make you
swine flu.
Yeah.
Don't catch it.
Yeah.
It's a bitch.
Get your injection. We'll give it to you first before you can get it.
No, man. And then there's videos. They claim that there's a shortage. They'll put all these news videos out. Oh, everyone's swine flu, and there'll be like 3 cases. And they'll set on the entire world. We'll see 3 cases of swine flu. Holy shit! I need that vaccine now. Give it to me. And they go and they get their flu, and they're like, everyone go now, or we're gonna run out, and you'll die of swine flu. Your odds are 1 trillion of a percent.
Yeah, right. Well, more people die of the actual flu, just the regular flu, bird flu, than the swine flu or anything like that. So, deaths of the flu is nothing abnormal.
Right. No.
People die. Some people are just in bad health conditions.
Some people just sneeze and fall over and are dead.
But that doesn't mean that I should be injecting myself with mercury in fear that I might.
Are we going to make it illegal to die from swine flu too?
Right.
Huh?
If you do not get your swine flu injection, FEMA camp for you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been fun. We probably went over a little bit, 30 minutes, but hey, it was fun. And we tackled some issues. We're going to be tackling more. It's not really an organized session today, but we're going to be developing some talking points in the near future and coming back at you. Green Reaper and Chaz. Fuck the government.
You're listening to Rant Radio.
I'm a human being. God damn it, my life has value. We don't need your education. We don't need your thought control.
You can't handle the truth.
Rant Radio.